Welcome to free awareness classes on Indian Constitution conducted by Thandanallur Educational and Cultural Society through Irinjalakuda Vivekananda Civil Service Academy's YouTube channel every day. This is me, Mahesh Amar. Today we are going to discuss about Article 50 of Indian Constitution related to directive principles of state policy. According to this article, it is the duty of the state to separate judiciary from executives, which means state should not be permitted the executives to decide the punishments. You see, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. That is the reason. When we consider the three organs of the government, we have firstly in the form of legislature. They are making the laws. We have union parliament and state legislative assemblies. Secondly, we have the executives. They are implementing the laws. We have in the form of central government and state governments. And thirdly, we have in the form of judiciary. They are supervising the laws made by the legislatures and implemented by the executives. We have in the form of Supreme Court and High Courts. It was the French philosopher Montesquieu first time provided this idea to separate the judiciary from executives. And later, during the time of British rule, that is mainly during the time of English East India Company's rule, that was at the time of the father of Indian civil service, Lord Cornwallis, who first separated judiciary from executives, which means he separated judicial powers from the district collectors, and that was continued till 1857. But due to the Great Indian Revolt, which took place in the year 1857, Indian administration brought under the direct control of a British Crown after that. Here, British Parliament appointed a cabinet minister for Indian administration designated by Secretary of State for India, and he was well assisted by thousands of civil servants who qualified British civil service examination. After the independence, we followed the same custom. At that time, district collectors had two powers. The first one was judicial magisterial power, and the second one was executive magisterial powers. Here, judicial magisterial power means district collectors could provide punishment for the offense, whereas executive magisterial power means they had to collect land revenue for the Britishers. When Indian Constitution came to force on 26th January 1950, Article 50 contained in it, this says to separate judiciary from executives. And according to our makers of the Constitution, this should be done by the state within 3 years. But you know, this is a DPSP. Nobody can create a pressure upon the state. That's why state didn't do anything till 1973. But in 1973, the famous judgment of Supreme Court came in Keshwanda Bharati versus the state of Kerala case. In that judgment, the Supreme Court said Parliament can amend any part of the Constitution except the basic structure. Here, Supreme Court said Article 50 is a part of a basic structure doctrine. So, in the year 1973, Parliament decided to amend the Criminal Procedure Code. When we think about the criminal laws in our country, we have IPC, Indian Penal Code, and CRPC. IPC means the crimes and corresponding punishments, but the procedure associated with this enumerated in CRPC. And the first time CRPC was constituted in the year 1882. And the first time it was amended in the year 1898. The second time it was 1973 according to 41st Law Commission report. Here the judicial magisterial powers taken from the district collectors and provided only executive magisterial powers. See, before 1973 district collectors could provide punishment for an offense. But now, even though they are district magistrates, not judicial magistrates. Of course, at the present, they are the head of criminal administration, they are the head of jails and lockups. They are maintaining law and order and considering all the problems of the people and solving them. But nowadays, when we think about the district collectors, they are executive magistrates. Here, executive magisterial powers of the district collector means they can collect land revenue, they can acquire land, that means land acquisition, land compensation, assessment of land. All these are the powers of the district collectors under the head of executive magisterial powers. On the basis of Article 50, in the year 2014, Parliament decided to constitute a commission, that was National Judicial Appointment Commission, through 99th Amendment Act. But this was nullified by the Supreme Court in the year 2015. Supreme Court observed here, in India, judicial system is an independent body. So executives have no right to interfere in the independence of judiciary. Here, Parliament through this commission decided to appoint the judges of Supreme Court through this commission. And this commission contained 6 members. 3 from judiciary and 3 from executives. Judicial members were Chief Justice of India and 2 senior most judges of Supreme Court. And executive members were the Union Law and Justice Minister and 2 eminent personalities. They were appointed by the central government. Here Supreme Court undoubtedly said through this move, Parliament is interfering in the freedom of the judiciary. That's why they nullified this 99th constitutional amendment. Actually, the judges of the Supreme Court are appointed by a collegium. Collegium is a panel consisting 5 members from the Supreme Court. They are the Chief Justice of India and 4 senior most judges of Supreme Court. Remember, at the present, the Supreme Court contains 34 judges. And this process is continuing even today. Now I think you could understand Article 50 of Indian Constitution. If you could like this video, please share this as far as possible. I'm concluding this session, so thank you very much.